What it do? Hey, welcome to Word of Mouth Podcast with Nate and Shelby.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you all? Man, it's a beautiful day
In the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood. Yes. And we are excited and happy today. And we're going to jump into some stuff today. We want to talk about something that's very, what's the word I can use? Very important. Has been something that has caused us to fall, has caused us to go astray, a number of things. And this word is very important that we discuss it in its entirety and realize that it's not going to keep us in a place of bondage. And that word is distractions. So we will be talking about distractions.
Exciting stuff.
Yes, distractions. So, of course, you know, Shelby, I got questions.
I'm ready for the question. Here we go.
I got questions.
Let's get it started.
All right. What's your definition of a distraction? Like, what distracts Shelby?
Well, a distraction is anything that takes you away from what you're supposed to be focused on, in my opinion. Of course, the phone is a huge one because as we were just sitting here and I'm getting a text, I stop and look at the text, right?
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
So it's, they're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Yes, they are everywhere. I think distractions has caused us to make some bad decisions, make some bad choices. Distractions have led us astray to other different areas. I guess the question that I wanted to dig in on personally from yourself is, are you distracted a lot in your everyday life?
Mm-hmm. And I think, if I'm honest, I think as I've gotten, well, honestly, I think we're all getting programmed. And like I can be on my desk at home in my office. I have two different computers on at the same time because my assistant uses my one computer from California and then I have my big desktop in front of me. But I can have them both going at the same time. Well, now I've gotten to the point where I've got those two going and my phone. And I mean, I just keep adding to it. And I notice like if I don't have all that stuff going at the same time, I feel really weird.
Wow. And you're able to multitask with everything going like that?
Yeah. But am I doing it well? No. Mediocrity has set in because I'm not focused on one single thing. I'm doing multiple things and I think, you know, with like TikTok and stuff, like we've talked before, we can't even watch a 3-minute video anymore. We scroll.
Because we're so distracted.
Yeah, and we just want to keep going.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You said something good, programmed. So do you think this world system, the Bible gives an account in Romans 12 that we are not to be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing
of our mind.
Yes. So do you think that this world system is conforming us?
No. Doesn't the word say that's going to happen?
Absolutely. Programmed. Are we that engulfed in everything else and not what we need to be focused on? Like, I guess I'm telling on myself, do I allow these distractions to take me away from the thing that I need to be doing? Yes.
Yeah, you're not alone. I mean, okay, I'm going to out myself right now because this week our pastor is talking about, we were fasting last week from food in however capacity we felt led to do. This week it's about basically social media, but it's about distractions. And, you know, my daughter and I were talking and she was like, well, we were talking about how we were going to do that, how we're going to fast from those things. And I said, for me, which I just screwed up doing it right now, but I said, when I'm having a conversation with someone, my phone's going to be away. Because I will literally be talking to you and I'll be texting someone else.
Wow.
Or I'll be scrolling through stuff. Is that okay? No, it is not. God. That is so rude, number one. And it's discounting that person, right?
Absolutely.
But I've noticed that this generation, the kids do that. Like my kids do that too.
Yes.
They're talking to us and they're Snapchatting and they're whatever. You know, you can't even sit at the dinner table.
I don't. I wouldn't even put it on the kids. I feel like everyone does that.
Yeah.
I've saw people
Yeah.
walk up to counters, and I think this is the most rudest thing ever. If you are ordering something, say it's food, or you're at a counter where you have to pay for something,
Right.
why are you on your phone? Unless you're paying with your phone. I get it.
Right. Well, and I don't, what gets me is like when someone's actually having a conversation on the phone and they're like checking out with their groceries or something. And
And they're on the phone.
yes, that perturbs me to no end.
How? That's rude. To
It
me,
is.
That's rude.
But do we have any common courtesy much anymore? No.
Wow. So I worked on a campus, and I saw a lot of college kids. And I would drive up and down campus on this golf cart, and at least 90 to 95% of college students was
On their
walking with
phone.
their head in their phone. Hardly ever looked up.
Oblivious to where they're
Oh,
stepping.
now I'm not putting down college students. I'm not even putting down phones.
Oh, no,
I
we
think
just
that-
said, or I just said that I do it myself.
Yeah, and we all.
Yeah.
We all do it. How many of us, to be honest, and say that we have text while we were driving? Y'all can't see my hand, but my hand is. Yes.
I was waiting for him to raise his hand first.
But we have all done those things that can distract us and cause major problems. Like can cause really, really bad problems. So I guess that's why we want to address it today. Like how do we I think the first thing is to admit that we are distracted in areas and then be able to deal with the problem. But we have to admit that we are
Right.
distracted.
Acknowledging is the first step.
Yes. So let's pull up some areas of distraction. Are you distracted in church?
Of course not. No.
Pastor's listening.
I know. I was just going to say, I hope he's not listening right now. He's going to be like, oh, okay.
Oh man.
No, I really try not to be, but still, I am.
I've preached a lot of sermons, and in some of those sermons I have said, hey, I know some of you all have tuned me out, and you're thinking about what you're about to eat or what you're about to
Where
cook.
you're going. Yep.
Where you're going. And I think because the attention span of people now, if you don't hold it, well, if you have it past 5 minutes, you can get them to 20
Yeah,
minutes.
it's crazy.
if you get them in the first 5.
Yeah.
If you lose them in the first 5,
You're done.
you're done. And I think that's with anything.
Yeah.
Can we honestly say
Well,
that's
if we can't even
with-
watch a 3-minute TikTok, good Lord.
There you go. Have you ever had a conversation and someone just completely tuned out?
And I've
and you
been
were
the one that's
talking to
been
them.
completely tuned out too, if I'm honest. So,
Oh, seriously?
yeah.
So you've been talking to someone?
Not with you, though.
So you literally was having a conversation with someone and you just tuned out completely?
Unfortunately, I'm sure my kids have all seen me do it. Like, if they'll be talking to me and I'm texting someone or something, and then I'm like, wait a second, what'd you say?
Wow. Had no clue of what they said. Because you tuned out. Wow. Okay.
And
so,
maybe that's just my 50-year-old brain. I don't know, but I don't think so.
So since you out yourself, I guess I got to tell the truth about that as well. So I have a gift where I can tune you out and be looking at you.
Oh, thanks a lot. As you're looking at me right now. Okay, so now I know the
Never
I
you.
know the facts.
But I
Yeah.
can tune people out like they're talking about, say whatever, and
But you look like you're engaged.
yeah, because I'll probably even nod my head. I'm not saying yes to anything, but I'll nod my head like,
And they're like, "Oh, Nate's really
right.
He's really into
engaged.
this.
Like he's listening to me, and I'm like, I'm over here in the clouds somewhere. So I think that if we
now I'm going to
address-
pay a lot of attention to you."
I think if we address the fact that distractions are leading us astray, then we'll have to deal with the major underlying problem, and that is not being able to focus on what we need to be focused on. So we're coming up on, I don't say Easter, I'm sorry, but
Right.
we're coming up on Resurrection Sunday. How many of us can honestly agree that it's as exciting as it was when we were kids? I'll wait.
Crickets. Do you have a cricket button over there?
I do. Oh my God, I should have came with it. How many of us can say the excitement of Easter is the same as it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago? It has been kind of swept away, swept under a rug. It's just Easter. That's it. Like, it was an exciting time because we all knew that everybody was coming to church. Everybody was coming to church, no matter what. We just knew that they were coming.
The CEOs were going to show up.
There you go.
And I was one, so I'm not calling anybody out.
No, you're good. You're good. I was one for a while, but we knew that Easter was a major time for us to get together, whether we were going over someone's house to eat or anything to that sort. I use that for an example because we're so distracted on everything else that we haven't even paid attention to this particular day coming.
Right.
Like, it's not even important anymore.
Right.
Is his resurrection not important? Him dying on a cross?
Ow.
Is it not important anymore? Have we discussed everything else besides that? Like, and this is a smack and a pinch and a
kick.
Everything. Yeah, to
Punch
us
to the
to
gut.
say, why are we putting everything else before that?
Yeah, we have it backwards.
Oh my God. Do you know how excited I was when Good Friday came? I wanted to hear the story about Jesus, going to the cross. I wanted to hear that story, even though it was such a sad story. Yeah. But for me, it was exciting because he did it for me. Now, my thoughts is on whatever's happening in the world.
Right.
Besides what he did for me.
But that's what the world wants.
So we are completely distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Distracted. Like, with everything, we're distracted. And that's the sad part, you all.
It is.
That's the sad part.
What if he had been distracted?
That was a cricket right there. Because what if he would have been distracted? Like, I don't think he would have went to the cross.
No, I don't think so.
I think we need to change our perspective and not be distracted anymore. I know that we have to deal with these things of the world, whether it's, your phones, your computers in which you talked about, everything that has changed. I was watching something a couple of days ago about AI and how things are finna go to that level now.
How are you going to know what's real?
Right.
If you don't have discernment, how are you going to know what's real? And even when you do have discernment, you're still going to get juked. That's scary to me. That's really scary to me for my grandchildren that I don't have yet. And
yes.
The future generations.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. And it's sad to say that we are being programmed to have to not only live with it, we have to accept it.
Right. And
We're
roll with
now.
it. Yep.
Yeah, we got to go. We got to roll with it. Electric cars, they're going to be a thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be a lot of these regular cars anymore pretty soon.
Oh, I'm going to hold on to mine.
Try to put it in the garage because, man, it's where everybody's going. And to make it sad is they're going to eliminate the necessary things to have for your regular car.
Right.
You won't see any more regular gas stations. You
Right.
won't see any more oil change places. Like, all that stuff is going to go away. So how are you going to maintain it? It's all a distraction. I feel like it's all a distraction to get us off track to really seeing the truth. Because the Bible says the truth will set you free.
Absolutely. And Mark is really ticked off. We have a cardinal that likes to peck at the window here, and he is really mad today.
He is.
He does not like us talking about this.
He started at 10:30 this morning. He's up there.
He is mad.
Well, Mark, you're not going to distract us today.
Yes, exactly.
What about distractions in a relationship? Is that Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
So I was told that if you are in a relationship and you are entertaining other people in different aspects, that's a distraction toward what you have at home. Is that true?
I think that there is a normal amount of interaction with other people that has to happen whether you're in a relationship or not. But you definitely need to guard and protect your relationship. And if you're not doing that and you're stepping outside of those boundaries, then yes, you're in trouble. In my opinion.
Okay. So let's tell our age on this one. Okay, so you know how men and women back in the day, they would be walking down the street.
Back in the day.
They'd be walking down the street and a man can get distracted by seeing another beautiful woman. That don't happen nowadays. It's not a common thing that happens now. I think the distraction now is more social, or from a social media standpoint, or from just watching something on TV.
I think men still get distracted by a pretty woman.
Men. Men.
And maybe women get distracted by a good-looking guy, too.
I believe that, but it's not as common as what you can be distracted from that other level. Because it's easier to see that.
Well, but back then, in our day, we didn't have a phone that was constantly on us or a watch that was constantly going off telling us there's somebody doing this, that, or the other, right? So we were paying more attention to the people who were walking down the road.
That is true.
And now you're not paying attention. If you're even walking on the road, you're, like you just said, there's students looking down, not even realizing where they're going. Yeah. We're all doing it.
Absolutely. And we got to do something different. We got to do better. Can I just say
agree.
That? We got to do better. I think it's time for us to not only address it, but put some action behind it. Where do we start? Our phones. You said your pastor had mentioned about fasting, fasting from a device that you like literally keep in your hand almost 80% of the day.
Yep.
How can you lay your phone down, something that is connected to you, 80% of the day? How can you lay it down and not be tempted to get it?
Well, it's hard. I'll tell you that. But you just it's down right now, right?
So can I compare that to a person that's addicted to alcohol or drugs?
It's an addiction. I would think, any kind of addiction is an addiction. It doesn't matter if it's, those might be worse for your health, but maybe not necessarily, because if you walk in front of a bus when you're on your phone, you're going to wind up in the same spot, right?
Worse for your health.
Yeah, so...
wow.
But it's... addiction's addiction.
So everybody's addicted to their phone then. Because you can't go nowhere without it. I'm going to tell myself, I have been in the bathroom with my phone. Like I take it to the bathroom and I'll be on it for and I'll sit there and my legs are numb.
Little TMI from Nate over there.
Because I've sat there for so long on my phone. I finished 30 minutes ago.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm still sitting there on my phone. I'll tell on me. But that's distraction.
But is that also because you just don't want to deal with what's outside? Are you just trying to get a little respite?
No, what if I'm in the house by myself and I still take my phone?
Well, you're just lazy then.
Right. That's exactly what it is. And that's sad, but some of us, man, be honest with yourself. How many of you all walk to the bathroom with your phone in your hand or in your pocket? And as soon as you relax, you pull it out. And there you go. TikTok away.
Okay, well, we've addressed that subject now, so we can move on.
Man, the distraction of, now we understand that distraction has caused an addiction. And if I'm addicted to something and it's not being addicted to what the Holy Spirit can give me or lead me into something else that can be beneficial to the kingdom of God, then I got my priorities out of whack.
Well, I mean, let's go back to what we were just talking about. This is High Holy Week, and here we are not paying attention to that at all.
Wow.
So it's a device from the enemy to keep us away from where we're supposed to be focused.
Yes.
And it boils down, I mean, in every aspect of life. The distractions are a tool the enemy uses to keep us not focused on the things we're supposed to focus on, whether it be our families, whether it be the word, whether it be prayer time, whether it be fellowship, whatever.
I'm afraid to ask this, but I want to ask it in,
Oh, good Lord.
I guess, just to you. Would you agree, and you probably won't, but would you agree to say that distractions are inevitable?
Actually, I would agree with that because we're in a flesh suit. And we are not of this world, but our bodies
Or part of it?
of part of this world. And therefore, I don't know that you can walk through life without,
Being distracted.
in some form or fashion. Now, do you have to be constantly distracted? No. There's no consistency in being constantly distracted unless you're just being consistent in being distracted.
Well, because there's a difference. I think, for me, there's a difference between being distracted and easily distracted. Like, I hear Mark, but I have him so tuned out
Right, you're focused.
that he's not distracting me.
Obviously, I don't. Because Mark's about ready to get it.
Uh-oh. So would you say that you're easily distracted? I'll give you an example. I had a young man that was in the ministry with my spiritual son, actually, and he every time there was anything that moved, whether it was natural or even spiritual, like he was immediately thrown off.
Yeah.
And I would talk to him about, hey, why are you so easily distracted about things? And he honestly didn't know. Like, every time that there was something off in any capacity, he was just distracted by it.
Well, I'll out myself again. Every morning I try to get in the Word, right? And I have a study that I do. And my dogs, for some reason, always want to be with me in the mornings. I love my dogs. I really do. But the noise they make, oh my gosh, I can't stand it. And so I'll get so frustrated at them. Even if I go in the other room, they follow me. And I can shut the door, they'll be outside the door. And then I just can't. And I know that that's something I have to work on.
So
But that's
a
just
distraction.
facts. Yeah.
And you just
And it's
wanna
God's
study.
word, right? So the enemy really is like, oh, well, we're definitely going to keep her off track here.
Wow.
And I mean, literally, I sat there this morning and one of them was making the noise. And I'm like, I mean, I'll start gritting my teeth. Like, I can't pay any attention to what I'm doing. And I'm aware of it. So it's like, Lord, help me here. Like, really? What are you trying to tell me? Like, what am I supposed to be figuring out?
Wow. I think all of us have dealt with that to a certain extent, especially when it's time to, or when you really get intentional about studying this word. Yeah, something pop up. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how we try to read at night. Now, this is me. I'll tell on myself again. It's amazing how you are prepared to study, and the spirit of sleep.
Oh yeah, it comes on you like boom. But you couldn't sleep if you tried. If you weren't studying.
If you wasn't studying, you could sit up and watch a full series of something.
Right. Or if you're like in prayer time. Mm-hmm.
My. Thank you. I'm not the only one, okay?
No, sir, you're not alone.
Gotcha. So I want to say the biggest question is, and I asked Shelby, is it inevitable? Our distractions they're gonna be there regardless. We just have to know how to deal with them.
And try to limit them. And try to put more intention in relationships and things that really are important in walking with Christ and focusing on those things. I mean, it really boils down to being intentional, that stuff, I think, which we kind of talked about last podcast, but that's a big part of it.
How do we limit distractions? Because they're
Well, if it's your phone or your watch or whatever, you got to put it down. You have to force yourself and not keep going back to it. And maybe you start with 5 minutes and then you check it and then you try and stretch it to 10 minutes, you know. Like you can take steps to do it. But maybe if we all were more intentional and we did put our phones down when we're having conversations with other people, they would feel more valued.
Wow.
And in turn, we would feel more valued. And then a lot of things might change.
Boom. That's a drop the mic kind of moment right there. Someone else will feel more valued if you paid
Attention.
Wow. It's a
And
big
it costs, according to Nate, it costs to pay attention. So
Big cost.
that's the cost of putting your phone down
That's it.
and being uncomfortable with not having it on you or whatever.
Absolutely.
For those who are phone people, there's people that aren't phone people.
They probably, I ain't gonna say that on air. but I got a part two because I got some other questions about distractions. Something that you just said, it sparked some more questions in me. So we're gonna come right back with a part two of distractions. And I'm quite sure y'all got a bunch of questions too. I wish we can take calls. No, don't cut my phone, please. Don't cut my phone.
We'll get there.
But yeah, we'll be right back.
Love you.